Top of the morning, y'all. As you know, I can sniff stuff out. I've been known to do that for a long, long time. You gonna talk about communism or treason? I can sniff it out better than a 3-year-old bloodhound that was just given a Monster energy drink. Just gets fired up. Look, when you're living in maximum freedom down here like I am, it's just the antithesis of what we got going on, so it's easy for us to pick it out. If you're in the big old city, sometimes it sneaks up on you. Bless your heart. You're doing the best you can, but that's what I'm here for. This video is sponsored by Home Title Lock. We're going to talk a little bit more about this towards the end of the video, but literally, criminals are forging your signature with just one document using a fake notary stamp, and they pay a small fee. They get your county on board, and all of a sudden, the home is transferred out of your own name. It took me a while to understand how criminals are actually doing this, but we got more emails about this particular sponsor last time we did it than pretty much anybody we've done in a long, long time. It is a real and a serious threat. So y'all, don't be a victim. Please go to the link below, use promo code BUDDY, and understand exactly what this stuff is about. All right, I gotta breathe deeply here because this one, y'all, it just really, really sticks in my craw, as we say down here. There's a video, God bless him, of a California pastor named Jack Hibbs, who just went very, very viral because he said something from the pulpit I've never heard in my entire life. He's talking about a certain bill that they are trying to pass. They're actually in progress passing it right now out there in California, and it's called AB 495. It is so evil that it passes all understanding of I don't even know what to say. But look, he said in front of the whole congregation, if this bill passes, I want all y'all to leave this church and get the heck out of California if you got kids, which is the most hardcore thing I've ever heard a pastor say. And to understand that and kind of get a grip around it, I want you to watch this video right here.
It's a meat market bill. It is a trafficking bill. It is unbelievable. So much so, don't believe me. Go to realimpact.us. It allows an individual to obtain this new form that comes with the bill. They fill it out, and they can name a child. John goes to a school in California and says, I have this form, and I am asking for Susie Q to be received into my custody. I want to take her out of school. The bill does not require a background check for this man, requires no identification, no driver's license, no nothing. There's no requirement in the bill for the school to call you to ask you if it's okay if John takes your daughter out of school. If this bill passes, I am going to ask you to leave the state of California. You're going to need to pack up and you're going to have to get out. You got to get out. You got to run with your kids. You got to go.
Have y'all ever heard a pastor talk like that in your entire life? I mean, be serious. Great job, Governor Lucifer out there in California. Look, this is so terrifying. And I had to dig this stuff up because ain't nobody talking about it in the media. And, you know, this sounds really, really harsh. I know it does, so please don't take it the wrong way. I know y'all are just gripping onto that state, that the people that still live there with everything you got, and I respect the heck out of you for it. I really do. But y'all need to get your kids out of there today, out there, if you got kids in California. This literally is last call. The state is run by the devil, and already 7 million people have taken out of there, thank God, and mostly the good ones are the ones that got out there. You can't save that place. It's been handed over to evil. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Public education is now the new human trafficking hub, and our kids are not for sale. A little background on this bill. The idea of the whole bill was to give some kind of solutions to illegal aliens getting deported so that they don't have to get separated by their families and all that kind of stuff, which sounds great on paper. You know, it's like Tom Homan said, you know, if you get arrested for a DUI, you're getting separated from your family anyway because you're stupid. These loopholes, though, in this bill are going to create things that are going to make kidnapping a piece of cake. And when I say you need to get out, I mean y'all need to get out. You remember Revelation 18? Revelation 18 when it's talking about, come out of her, my people. You got to get out of there so that you don't share in her punishment. And you got to think back at the unthinkable circumstances that was truly Sodom and Gomorrah back there in the Bible days. You're thinking, how could anything exist like that? How could there be a culture that's so filthy and rotten and dirty that would actually exist like that? But because God has given Sodom and Gomorrah over to her evil desires, and he's done the exact same thing, I believe, with the state of California. Because all this kind of stuff that we've seen now is just a byproduct. Y'all, with this bill, Chuck E. Cheese offers better security for your kids than the state of California. I would trust the meth head inside that big old mouse costume to stop a kidnapping more than I would trust a California public school superintendent in 2025. But you know what? No joke. This is what gives me chills. This was one of the very few pastors I have seen across all of America with the balls to address something that most people won't ever talk about in church. They don't ever want to mix politics in church. They don't want to mix current events in church. I never understood that. I never ever understood that because y'all got to remember, it was the Pharisees and the politics that sent Jesus to the cross in the first place. So of course we're supposed to be in politics. Of course, y'all understand, it was our sin that put him on the cross. I totally get that. But the Pharisees and the politics was what was the catalyst for the entire thing. And we have to get involved in church with politics. We got to get involved with current events. Otherwise, we're clueless. So this bill is currently in Senate Appropriations, as they call them. Should it pass, this committee is most likely going to go to the floor, and the governor, Newsom, is going to be awaiting a signature. At that point, Newsom can either veto it, or he could show the nation that California is now the hub for state-sanctioned trafficking. It's up to him. But in my opinion, this pastor right here was just telling his church something in such a hardcore manner because he is the shepherd of the flock, and a shepherd is supposed to protect his flock. And God bless you, pastor, for doing so. Most people I talked to hadn't even heard of this bill, y'all. Well, now you have. So act accordingly and protect your kids. God bless you and your families. Be good.